This is Queen C from When Sistahs Get Together, and you have tuned in to the second installment of Sistahs Chat. Okay, so we're gonna pull another question. I did put a question to the side because it's a question that has been talked about so much, and because we have two sets. There's women who are married here and there's women who aren't. So I think it would be good to get two different sides of this question. And it's a really basic question, but it's a question that women tackle every day. And it is, can you be totally faithful in your relationship with your man or woman? Can you be totally faithful in your relationship?
Well,
I feel like this is like
what it depends on what you mean by faithful. And I think that's defined by each individual. It's a very intimate thing for each person. And I think part of being in a relationship with someone, I think that's the entire journey of a relationship, is discovering what do these things mean to you. And I think that's the beautiful discovery of a relationship, is exploring those things. And sometimes you run into bumps in the road where your views and opinions might differ. And for some people, and sometimes you just have varying opinions on what faithful means. And sometimes that could actually mean that maybe you're just not compatible. Maybe you have your views are too contrasting and you can't live with each other's perspective in that regard, and that maybe you should, kind of reevaluate things. And I think some couples, they feel the need to try and force the other person to reevaluate their definition of what faithful loyalty means when they're just simply not ready or not willing to. For me, I've been married for quite a number of years now. I've been together with my husband for 14.
Oh wow.
So 14 years is, to me, to be physically faithful has been absolutely the easiest thing to do. Because to me that's, I don't know, I have no problem just kind of tunnel visioning out other men. I'm fine. He's like the one gem in the whole in the whole sea that I managed to find, and I'm not gonna mess that up or anything. I just love him too much. So, and I respect him. So for me, physically, that's one thing. But I'm able to have extraordinary friendships with other men, and a lot of men feel threatened by that. So for him, he's okay. He's very sure of himself. He knows that I love him and that he's my everything. And at the end of the day, when the sun goes down at night, he's the one I want to be with forever, right? So, faithful is, I think, a very unique thing that each person has to.
I agree.
I completely
agree, because I think faithful, yes, to answer the question, yes, but it's a choice on whether or not you can fully, whether it's on a physical, an emotional, a mental, a spiritual, it's so many different things. If you find someone to connect with that goes down a different route, then, you can do it. I agree with you, the same thing. I've been married a while now, and I don't know, he's my guy. Like, I am a friendly person, whether it's a male or a female. I can make relationships. I'm approachable. But I know when to bring the reins back. At the same time, I know not to be a tease. I mean, I'm a female. When someone compliments you, I still got it. Damn, But at the same time, yes, I know I'm not going to disrespect my man. I don't want the wrong perception up there to get, spread about me. At the same time, so I don't know. For me, yes, it's not a problem. Stay faithful.
I'm not married or anything, but in terms of that, I even think it eventually doesn't even become a question, really. Once you find that person, it never even occurs to you in the back of your head, will I stay faithful?
No, it's true.
Really and truly, if that is the person you're like, oh my God, I would do anything, like anything, to make sure that you are taken care of. You will not, in the back of your head, think to yourself, will I stay faithful to this man?
If it's a
And if
question,
you are
the
questioning
question
yourself,
is-
Then it
that's
is
doubt you
not
need to
the
leave.
man.
Yeah.
Then it is
Exactly.
not the man.
not
You
him.
have to ask yourself in the back of your head, will I be faithful to you? It's not him.
Yeah. You don't respect
If it
him,
was
first of
him,
all.
you
And you don't
would
respect
never
yourself or the
ask.
union that you're
You
in.
don't ask.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Because you just know, especially as a woman. Men, it's a little different because, yes, we are different at the end of the day. We are
Yeah.
not the same. But with women, for some reason, once it's him, well, I'm going to speak for myself. I'll say me. Once it's him, I don't see anybody. There's nobody else there. No matter who talks to you, what they say, what they have, what they can buy you, what they can do for you, you don't notice. Because at the end of the day, it is him and him
Yeah.
only.
And I also think you mentioned the word faithful and social, mental, emotional. And I think that's the problem with females when it comes to being faithful. I can't really speak for males, but when it comes to being faithful, maybe was what I'm thinking, my personal opinion. For a male, it's like, okay, well, either you're with me or you're not with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Simple as that. With women, it's more, well, did you talk to her?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you guys have a conversation?
What do you
Yeah.
think?
You shared opinions.
Yeah.
So now you shared opinions with other women? It's like, I'm still like, your man is still human, and you mentioned respect, you mentioned not being disrespectful, and when you find that person that you have that connection with on a friendship level, on a spiritual level, on emotional level, on this person just completes what I need to be completed, then words like unfaithful or cheating, which is I think the word that's trying to be avoided here, doesn't come up. And again, women need to realize that we're human beings. We live in a society where we work, where we have circles of friends, different circles of friends. Your friends won't be my friends, you know what I mean? It's not about all husbands have to be friends and wives have to be friends. You have to be comfortable in your relationship and not worry about what's out there. They're so worried about what's out there that is going to affect what's here.
Doesn't matter.
If what's here is strong, nothing out there will affect
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
But if you start harping and nagging and doubting and demeaning,
It brings
then you
down
best
tension.
then don't complain when he's like, you know what, I'm going out for a drink with my buddies, I'm not coming home tonight.
Yeah.
You're creating a stressful environment that someone doesn't need to be under because you're not confident within yourself.
I know females like that too. Man goes out or husband goes out, boyfriend, whatever, and she's constantly calling. What are you doing? Are you gonna be home soon? This and that. This
let
and that.
him
It's like,
be.
yo, like really?
No, don't do that.
At the end of the day, he's coming home to you.
Yeah.
Let him
Just
be.
like there's a confidence or something
There's
is
something.
wrong there, and you're
And he's a
forcing it to
person.
be-
Exactly.
We're still two individuals
Yes, exactly.
coming together. But whether how close you guys are still individuals. You guys still have your own
Makes the
lives.
relationship
And
when you
interests.
still
Yes.
have
Like,
individuality.
for example, like there are just some things I really enjoy talking about and talking and talking and talking about. And my husband cannot handle it. But there's other males out there that I know of and that we both know of, mutual friends that I can talk and talk and talk about these things about, and they're just dandy to entertain with, yapping along. But my husband doesn't feel threatened by that. He's just like, oh, thank God, there's somebody that can talk to her about this stuff, so she doesn't have to bug me.
But your foundation
But
is firm.
But
That's
yeah, but again, that doesn't negate all of the beautiful things that we do have in
Yeah.
common.
Exactly.
So that
And,
doesn't
and
take
you
away.
even socializing with someone else that has the same interests, that is still a sense of it's still a sense of enjoyment. You know what I mean? So by you not allowing your spouse or your boyfriend to still take part in things that are not threatening, but they enjoy doing, like talking with somebody else, something that's not going to damage the relationship, by you doing that, you're the one who's the threat on what you have,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly. When you don't allow your partner to grow and evolve
Yes.
by doing the things and engaging in the community in ways that they love, then the biggest threat to your relationship is yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Touching on what you said, in terms of the woman who her significant other went out and she's calling and calling and calling. One thing that I never understood, and I know everyone has heard it at least once in their life, something that women always say, or you always hear it, I want to hold my man down. What in the world is that?
like those ride or die. Like,
What is that? For what reason have women taken on this thing of, I need to hold down my man, excuse me, I want to hold him up.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if your man is making you do something that could possibly bring harm to you, that's not love. And women need to realize that. If your man or your woman puts you in a situation that could potentially bring harm to you,
That's not love.
that is not love. Or puts you in a situation that is detrimental to whatever you have,
Definitely
it's not love and it's not respect. Because at the end of the day, love is respect.
And
And
if
if
you
you're
do
not-
it to them,
And if you're doing it to them, you're doing the exact same thing, so you can't complain. So the whole thing about being faithful, I will say to women, is whatever level of faithfulness, because like you said, it's
yeah,
so
it's
like
different.
it's so multi-level that I think the physical, that's one that women deal with. Is it gonna be physically faithful? Okay, well, if he's not, then you don't need to be with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you're doubting, use your, you know what I mean? It's not worth your time.
let it go.
If it's an emotional thing where you don't like him talking to other females, then that's a confidence thing within you. It has nothing to do with your man. And you can't put that blame on him. And if it's something that you need to work on, then talk with him about what's bothering you. Don't yell, don't harp and nag, but actually communicate, which nobody understands what communication is. Communication is not yelling, it's not belittling, it's not blaming, it's having a back and forth conversation that is flowing like water, where you're giving your understanding and he's giving, yes, you know what I mean? Do that. I would suggest to do that if you're having those faithful doubts. If you're going into a relationship and you have baggage waiting at the door because of whatever you've been through. I know a couple people are getting into a relationship right now, and it's like, I know so-and-so's been through some stuff and whatnot, and it's, I don't want to let him know about that stuff right now, just wait to see how things go. Don't do that. You're setting yourself up. If you have faithful issues in the past, and you're getting into something that someone is going to now dedicate their time towards in regards to relationship, you let that person know. Because if that's the right person, they can probably help you get the trash out and put it in, you know, and have it hauled off. You know what I mean?
They
So
would also know which ways that they need to be extra.
Exactly. So with that question, is it possible? Yes. And at the end of the day, it's up to both of you on both sides. It's not a one-way street, it's a two-way street. So
Definitely.